Hey everyone, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I'm going to be sharing an idea and a video that I have been meaning to do for a long time. I'm just now getting around to. Want to wish you all a happy new year and welcome back, or welcome if this is the first time that you've watched my channel. So today I want to show you how you can really extend your crafting dollar and your creative possibilities by layering just one light colored warm ink. This is from Gina K Designs. It's called Sandy Beach. It's a beautiful neutral. When you stamp this over any other color, you're going to create a warmer tone. And so this can create a more subtle effect if you're using a bright ink and you're going for that look. If you want to do a masculine project, maybe for nature cards. Now, one of the great things about Gina K's ink, she has them in a whole spectrum of colors. Let me turn the light over here so that you can see it just a little bit better. But all of these colors have coordinating cardstock colors. They're perfectly matching. But if you are just going to be putting your stamping with a white base or a neutral color, it doesn't need to coordinate. And so I really recommend this particular shade for trying out with your other ink colors. So let me show you some different inks that I have tried this with, and I'll show you their names. And I'm going to be demonstrating a card with my Pressed Flowers 2 set just because it has these bold images and you're able to really see that new shade. So first of all, I have got some pinks and even a purple here, and then some yellows, blues, and greens. So I want to show you how different these look after you put the Sandy Beach over them. So here, the lovely lavender is actually turning a flesh tone. A lot of these would actually work for a flesh tone on your cards if you chose to. But so we've got the Bubblegum. This is a really bright pink. I don't use it as often as I do the Innocent Pink, but that's what we're going to be using today on our card, and it turns this really pretty, subtle mauve. It's almost hard to believe that's the same color. Then you can see what the Peach Bellini does, the Dusty Rose, and then the Innocent Pink that I just mentioned. So now let's look at what it does to the Apple Mint. And by the way, this is a border stamp that is in my Lots of Letters set for stamping the different letters onto. So I just stamped all of these. I recommend that you do it in the brighter color first and then layer the Sandy Beach over it. So here we've got the Apple Mint. This is one of the newer colors, and you can see that turns more of a sage. The Lemon Drop, that's going to turn it into more of a neutral brown color. I love how the Ocean Mist and the Sea Glass both turn this really beautiful kind of bluer sage green. And then the Key Lime, this is going to turn into more of kind of like a green apple color. We don't have that green apple cardstock anymore. I miss it. But anyway, this is just 10 different colors from the Gina K line. Lots of other options. So let me show you by stamping a card how I would recommend doing this. I'm going to be using, in addition to the Sandy Beach ink pad, like I said, I've got the Bubblegum ink, and then we're going to be using that Ocean Mist as the green base. I've got a tidy towel just because whenever you're doing stamping with different colors on the same image, you want to make sure that you get it cleaned up because you don't want to stain your Sandy Beach pad. Going to be using the MISTI tool. You can also use a small MISTI if you want, or you can use acrylic blocks. Gina has a lot of them in the store. I just really like the MISTI for this because this is going to help you get that layering effect really precise. And then I've got the Gina K Jet Black Amalgam ink pad for my greeting. The cardstock that I'm using today, I've got a piece that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. This is a layering weight white. And then you can either use some heavy base weight white from Gina K, or you could use that Sandy Beach. And so the Sandy Beach is going to be a really nice neutral because anything that you stamp with this, it's going to have that warm Sandy Beach undertone. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll just put our cardstock into the MISTI, and I'm going to put the magnets down. And then I'm going to take this rose because we've got Valentine's Day coming up, and I'm just going to place that onto the mat and lift it up. Just cleaned it, so it's not very sticky right now. And then we're just going to press this back into the corner with our magnets. So I'm going to ink this up first in the Bubblegum. sure it's nice and inked up. And then we're just going to close the window and press all over. Pick it up. Okay, so there's the rose. So this is going to become that. I know it's hard to believe. Okay, so now we're going to clean the stamp off really well. And this is just moistened before I start stamping. It'll dry out and then you just reactivate it each time you get it wet. And now I'm inking it up with that sandy beach. And make sure that's in the corner. Press it down. And you're going to see, I think even on camera, how different it's going to look from this finished card. It's going to take a few minutes to dry and mellow, and it's going to really lighten up. Okay? So that's how it looks at first, and it's going to fade to this as we do the rest of our stamping. So let me go ahead and remove the rose, and then I'm going to take the stem that's in this set and then just place that on here. Make sure it's clean. And so we're going to place that right there, and you want to just have the tip of it going up, pointing towards the center of that flower. So close the window, and we're going to ink this up in the Ocean Mist. Close the window. Okay, and then we're going to layer on our sandy beach. Don't forget to clean it off. Press that down. Okay, that's going to fade as well. And now I'm going to grab the leaf that I like to use with my rose. So I really like to use this fatter leaf, but you could also use this leaf or this leaf, but these two are the most like a rose leaf. So I just love all these little elements, and I don't want to lock you into using one or the other if one really works well for your project. So I'm going to just place that right about there so that I have room for my greeting over here, and it's going to look like it's attached to that stem. You might notice that it was a little bit off from this stem. I don't worry about things like that. Also, if you want an outline look, I just want to point out that this is a coordinating set with my A Year of Flowers 2 set, so it's got a sketchy outline for every image in this set. And that's really fun with embossing and other techniques if you want to layer them as a two-step. So press that down and clean this off. I got a little bit on the door, so I'll get that off. And then we're going to do our sandy beach. So we have a craft pad. I mean, I experimented with a couple of our other inks to see what would work. The craft, I think, is a little too dark, and it got a little bit muddy. But I think the sandy beach is just the perfect shade as far as the contrast and then the color for this technique. All right, so that's all the stamping I'm going to do here. And then I'm going to take, I've got a little tiny U in this, and then I'm going to use the love. And I'm going to use, you can use a small block for this, or you can use the MISTI again. So I'm going to put that right about there. And I like to stamp the love and the U separately just because it allows me to get the U a little bit closer because it's not bumping up against the edge of that base on the stamp. So there's the love. And then let's grab that U. And so the U can go with thank you also, or hello. So I'm just going to offset that just a little bit. And you can do this with greetings too. You can see that these little tiny images even will still line up with the MISTI. So you can create these new ink colors with your 2 ink pads also. I just really wanted you to see that color on the flower. All right, so you can see it's much lighter now, and it's matching my first card. And then you would just pop this up with some foam squares or use some adhesive on the white base. You could put it on black, and then here it is on that sandy beach. So I hope this gives you lots of ideas and you're excited about trying out this ink or other ink combinations by two-step stamping your colors, please let me know in the comments which color you're most interested in trying the sandy beach with. Please visit my blog, Hands, Head, and Heart, for more ideas and inspiration using all of our stamp sets, and at Gina K Designs and Stamp TV. Thank you so much for watching today. God bless.